My name is Brian Morris. My phone number is 770-744-1050. And you can reach me by email. It's Brian, Brian, .tt.morris, Morris, @gmail.com. I work in product management, specifically focused on healthcare technology with a mix of financial technology.
Gotcha.
I am a registered pharmacist. I have a MBA from Bryant University, and I have a Juris Master's from Emory Law here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm based.
All right. So give us more about what you're doing. Give us an example of what you do in like project management.
Product management.
Oh, products.
Yes. Yeah, so product management is kind of at the intersection of all different functional disciplines in an organization. A lot of times they'll be characterized as like a mini CEO. So you have to be very good at working collaboratively with folks from engineering, programmers, developers, UI, UX designers, quality assurance testers. You have to be very good at working with business people, translating business objectives and goals into specific requirements and road mapping all that out so that the developers can work on the technology side and bring solutions together that help the business achieve their goals.
So do you as a side also look for new clientele so at all?
Oh, absolutely. So a large part of product management is product positioning and finding the channels that are going to drive the business forward, help the business grow, whether that's direct to consumer or business to business. My specialty is in B2B as well as B2B2C.
And B2C. Very interesting. Anything that you could drill down into to give us a better understanding of what somebody in your field does?
Yeah, so somebody in product management is typically going to be, going out to conferences, going out to meet with prospects, whether that's in the sales process or if it's client relationships, and listening to the prospect, listening to your customer, getting what we call voice of the customer to figure out what their, pain points are, what kind of problems they're encountering, and then, working with them and then working with your engineering team and the other functional areas to come up with solutions to help them, overcome those problems. So, a classic example is the shift in healthcare over the years from premise-based systems to cloud-based systems. And so you've got these systems in the past that used to be in these different silos. And if you would try to, connect with your doctor at one point in time and then have to see a specialist, you have to fill out all these, registration forms again and again. And so, an example of centralizing those records and creating interoperable solutions so that you can fill that out, that information out electronically one time, and it's available to every provider you see, and you only have to amend that information.
In the healthcare field, everything is moving in that direction, is it not?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and there's still lots of work to do to improve interoperability amongst the different systems. And there's a lot of government initiatives to help move that along, policy-wise, interoperability standards, different incentives to reform the whole healthcare system from the current fee-for-service model to more modern pay for value-based care.
This is so interesting. The way I always describe my life is my whole family's medical and I'm not. So my wife is a patient advocate. She's been in the healthcare field, got a master's in healthcare education or something like that. And she's a patient advocate now. My daughter's got a doctorate in psychology, and my son works in interventional radiology for Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale. So if I ever bring up anything medical, they just tell me to shut up. And they're right. They're right.
I got into it. I initially, out of the Navy, worked in nuclear subs and did chemistry. And the chemistry is what led me to pharmacy as I finished up the Navy in Charleston, South Carolina. And so I went to the Medical University of South Carolina College of Pharmacy. And at that point in time was when the big shift between going down a PharmD route or sticking with a bachelor's and going down a business route. I went down the business route. I used to be an ex-developer, writing code, writing systems, building systems. And I took that and translated that into, what I do today, product management and healthcare.
So I would say that you have a deep dive understanding of what you're doing. It's not just surface stuff. You're deep into it.
Yeah, I understand the operations side of healthcare, and I understand the clinical side of healthcare. I understand the business side of healthcare and the technical aspects. And that's saying a lot. There's definitely a lot of different sectors within healthcare. Healthcare is like a $3 trillion market in total, but I've focused on the provider side as well as the payer side for healthcare claims.
I also co-host a mastermind group that's run out of Phoenix with a guy named Breck L. Rice. He and I co-host it, and we run it every Thursday. So I'll give you some information on that because I think you'll find it to be very, very interesting and a good way to meet people.
He's one of our shared connections. He's a great guy.
Yeah, love Breck. Love Breck. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the interview, so please give us your credentials all over again.
Yeah, sure. My name is Brian Morris. My phone number is 770-851. I messed that up again. I keep wanting to give my personal. I apologize, Bob.
No problem.
My name is Brian Morris. My phone number is 770-744-1050. And my email is Brian, BRIAN, .tt.morris, MORRIS, @gmail.com.
Fantastic. Okay, so for the listening audience, my name is Bob Friedenthal. On LinkedIn, I'm Bob Holt, Holt, and the last name is Friedenthal, Friedenthal. And I put in my middle name because there's another Bob Holt or Bob H. Friedenthal that's on LinkedIn, and we kept running across each other. So I figured, okay, somebody's got to make a change. So I decided to make the change. I've done about 200 of these interviews in the last year and a half, and I'm loving it because what do you do when you're speaking? People figure you out in the first 15 to 30 seconds, right? And so they look at your body language and they look at your facial gestures. Otherwise, when you're typing, there's not a lot of personalization in typing, right? So that's why I started doing this, and it just took off like crazy. Like I said, I've done about 200 of these interviews, and I'm based out of Los Angeles, but I have clients all over the world, and I'm loving it, just absolutely loving it. And if you would like to have an interview done, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call me, 310-736-5787. That's a mobile number. And you can also reach me at bob@mycity, mycity.com. And I'm going to be signing us off. And very interesting interview. I think I learned something today. So I'm going to sign us off right now. Thank you much.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah.
Nice interview. Very nice interview.
Yeah, I'm interested to see here. Hopefully you'll edit that clean.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll call you back in just a couple minutes.